We all screamed last week when the news hit. Let's face it, we've been a bit deprived of Doctor Who news recently, so I think we can be forgiven for getting a bit excited. We cheered, we critiqued, we made videos about it. You can see mine by clicking right there. You know, if you fancy it. No pressure. Now we've gotten over that though, and while we eagerly await for the next bit of Who news, it seems like the perfect moment to rank all the logos, including the new one. Hello, I'm Phil, and I'm doing that disembodied voice thing again, even though it took me flipping forever to edit the last video I did this on. So, in an effort to have less images to have to find and edit my voiceover, let's just get to the ranking. At the bottom of our list at number 9, we have... oh dear, this one's really not aged well, has it? That early 3D rendering on the Who, the completely different font on the Doctor, which kind of looks like it's straight out of a 1950s themed American diner. I'm not ordering a large cheeseburger with extra fries, Doctor. I'm here to watch a thrilling adventure in time and space. Not the only logo that looks dated now, but it is the one that's dated the most. Number 8? Right, here goes. Got to admit, I'm slightly worried I may get chased down with pitchforks by some classic Who fans for putting this so low, but... look, I know it's the logo from one of the most popular periods of classic Who. It was used on merchandise years, even decades after it had stopped being the main logo. It probably holds a very nostalgic place in a lot of fans' hearts. The Time Ladies based their logo on it, so they must like it. But for me, it's just too cluttered. Those patterns on the background are distracting. The fact that there's a background at all is distracting. Basically, I'm not a fan of the logo having a background behind the wording. I can tolerate the completely blue version more than the red, blue, orange and yellow version though. That is far too many colours in one logo. 7? Well, I told you I didn't like backgrounds behind the wording, didn't I? I will give them this, it was bright and energetic, even more in the slightly tweaked version that came later in the Russell T Davies era, but it just never really worked for me. That spinning thing in the titles looked a bit ridiculous, and the logo was kind of unmalleable for merchandising. Not every product or box shape suits a long logo, and with that background it couldn't be adapted to suit the product like the logo that came after. It was one of the only things I didn't like about the show when it returned in 2005, which is pretty high praise for the 2005 series when you think about it. Number 6. The second Doctor got a brand new font for his logo. Shame it wasn't exactly an original one. The serif style font looked as if it came straight from a typewriter. It had lost the boldness of its predecessor while having none of the uniqueness of those that would follow, sort of like Gordon Brown as leader of the Labour Party. At number 5 we have another one that's dated a bit, the neon look. Very 80s. But 80s is cool now, right? Yeah, damn right. It was the decade I was born in, so it makes it okay in my book. This logo falls into the it's alright part of the list. The font's a bit uninspiring, but other than that, at least it's blue. Number 4. The classic. The one that started it all and set the basic template for years to come. The font may not have been particularly unique, but it was chunky and bold. It stood out. It well deserves a place in the top half of this ranking. Number 3. Oh look, it's the new one. Some people have said I was a little bit picky about this in my video that I did when the news hit. Link in the description. But while I stand by the fact that I prefer a chunkier font and blue colouring, I did also go on to say there were things I really like about this logo too. It certainly feels modern and bright, has a very dynamic sci-fi feel to it. I love the horizontal lines that cut through it. It's potentially a very clever bit of graphic design. Who knows? When I see it more in action and get used to it, it may even move up the list, but hey, even if it doesn't, it's 3rd place. That's like bronze medal at the Olympics. It's not bad at all. Number 2, second place, runner-up. Our most recent logo we've seen on an episode, on our screens from 2010 to 2017, the Stephen Moffat era. It's had a few different textures, but the font has remained the same, and what I love about the font is its uniqueness. It's not a font you'd find in your standard Microsoft Word font pack, is it? It's distinctive, it's quirky, it's chunky, and it's very often blue. But not always. I also really like what they did with making the initials DW into its own little TARDIS icon. Very clever and great for branding. I think what I like most about it though, is that it felt like my favourite logo. That arching bridge on the H, the stylised D at the beginning of Doctor. To me, this will always be the ultimate Doctor Who logo. And clearly I'm not the only one who thinks so, because it's the most enduring logo. Appearing for the first time for John Pertwee's Doctor in the 1970s, it was revived and given a spit polish in 1996 for the TV movie, and has been used on merchandise ever since. It's a logo that adorns classic Who DVDs, Big Finish, audio dramas, and any merchandise they don't want to stick whatever the current logo is on. I harbour somewhat delusional hopes that for the 60th anniversary they'll bring it back as the main logo once more. Well, we can all have dreams, can't we? So there you go, that's my ranking. Would yours be different? What's your favourite? Are you a 4th Doctor fan who'll be coming at me with a pitchfork? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that jazz. Till next time, bye!